because ordinarily, you're right, he would be sitting on the wheel, not sat in front. So, but there we go. That's another another head scratcher there. But that is the chaos of crashes.
I'm going to make a prediction right now, Matt, because I'm watching something as I'm listening to you. Ben Turner has Magnus Sheffield on his wheel, and the two of them have moved up. They're now freed up to do whatever they like, I presume. I've just got a feeling we're going to see Magnus Sheffield clip off and do something. Can you see? They're still there, unless they don't realise where Viviani is. Turner is just off the back. Look, Sheffield is sat. There you go.
Yeah, they're totally aware of. They're on the radios, and we saw Viviani on the radio there as well. So they will be aware. So now they've got to reconfigure. We know that Ben Turner. They're not sprinters, but we know how good they are in the wind. So they won't work, they won't ride. They'll just try and take their opportunities. And I think the best thing for those two riders is to wait, try something in the crosswinds, put it in the gutter, do a big turn and launch over the top. At the moment, both those Ineos Grenadiers riders have got nothing to lose. But there are several other teams there. It looks like the Block Racing team. We've got several. Beat Cycling are there as well.
And DSM as well, Matt.
Yeah, DSM. So, yeah, this is still going to be a very interesting sprint, but they've still got to catch these 5 riders out in front.
It's 4 now, isn't it? We've lost one. I'm just looking to see who we've lost.
Sorry, you're right. Yep, one rider has been lashade.
I think it's Van der Toek. He's been lashade, one of my favourite cycling terms. He's been lashade. If you're not sure what it means, folks at home, it's a French term to mean, distanced or dropped from the back of the group. Lashade. It's just so appropriate. It's one of those. Anyway, 4 out front now. I haven't seen him go back in yet, Van der Toek, but he's the one who's been dropped. Could this be the day, Matt, that DSM turn it around? Because they have at least 4 riders there. Welsford is there. Maybe. Tom Paco, sitting on the front there.
Back. I'm just trying to see if we can see. We're looking for number 41, yesterday's winner. There he is. So number 41 is there, and that is number 83, who's just gone back. Jerome Mayers has now gone back into that group. And I'm also looking to see if I can see Alexander Salby of Rewal in the orange. Remember, a couple of, 3 times inside the top 7 in this race so far. So watch out for Salby today. But it's, I think, a couple of the riders in that one. Moretsko in particular has no teammates with him, so they'll be freestyling. He's sat second from last at the moment, so he'll just try and stay out of trouble, almost ignored, and come in very, very late indeed. So 19 seconds now, so they still haven't brought them back, but I think that, I can't quite tell. With Salby, I do think is sat in the centre, so the 2 riders from the orange of Rewal in the mix.
Salby is the most sort of powerfully built. Yes, you're right. He's actually got. Is he on the wheel of a Netherlands national team rider? Yes. No, he's got a teammate. Yes, you're right. It is him. He's got very broad shoulders, hasn't he? Right in the middle of our shot at the bottom there.
Yeah, he's with Lucas Ericsson there. Yeah.
Good pick. Well spotted. Absolutely. I absolutely know Magnus Sheffield's going to do something. He's just tightened his shoes twice, and he's right on the back wheel of Ben Turner. They're still up there, aren't they? Right near the front. I'm certain. I can remember him winning a stage of the Ruta del Sol earlier this year, Magnus Sheffield, in a similar situation where there was a crash that happened, and late on he just thought, I'm going to go for this. And when he went late on, with about 2 or 3k to go, nobody could get near him. He's got an incredible late turn of speed, attacking late on in a race. And you watch him, I've got a strange feeling, not a strange feeling, a fairly certain feeling. That's what he's going to do now he's freed up. Of course, we do hope Viviani's all right, though. Sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that they're in not a difficult situation. They're in an intriguing situation because they won't be given an inch by everybody else. They're going to have to be really smart in terms of their timing and use each other. But because there's only 2 riders there, the other teams will know that the Ineos Grenadiers, they haven't got their sprinter, so they're going to try something. So it's a very difficult one. So everybody know it's coming. It's just going to be when, and if they're able to execute it as well, given how quick we know that Jumbo-Visma can wind things up, and they've still got their full complement, as far as we can see, for looking after Olav Koy. But it's going to have a different feel to it, this sprint. It really is.
That is if it comes down to a sprint, because we've got these 4 riders hanging on to 22 seconds. They're going to be down to 5k to go before you know, and it has gone out again. You're absolutely right. This is Axel van der Toek. I'll give him a double name mention, Van der Toek, because I was saying he was out of there. He wasn't at all. It was Jeroen Myers, of course. He's in there with Tim Berkens of the Alink Continental Cycling Team, Bram Dissel of Beat Cycling, and Max Krunen, the guy who I really hope loves singing, because he's got the perfect name for a man who can't stop singing. His legs will be singing right now, though, because they've been out there an awfully long time, these guys, and they really have pushed on as well, and they're ringing every last bit out right now. It's a shame there now are only 4 of them left. 22 seconds.
Yeah, we've only got about 8 or 9 minutes of racing at the kind of speed that they're doing now. So 8 or 9 minutes of racing, 22 seconds. That's a good lead, but we've seen how quick they go on that final long run into the line. And the thing about this circuit is, once we turn into that long 4.5 kilometre finishing straight, they'll have them in their sights all the time. And we might get 1 or 2 of those riders starting to muck about a little bit as well. But they've still got a small glimmer of hope here. They really, really have, and they're riding so well. No, but as we talked about, they are going to have exceptionally sore legs. They're going to be right on the limit here. But they're certainly making this group chase. And they've only taken 1 second back. I think it's going to have to be someone like Jos van Emden, who's going to have to maybe do like a kilometre turn on the front, use all that TT pace that he's got. But I do think, and also Tosh van der Sande, the 2 strongest riders at efforts like this for Jumbo-Visma.
4 DSM riders there. Axel van der Tuuk doing a long turn. The guy who's been doing, I think, the longest, hardest turns in here is the Beat cycling rider, Bram Dissel. He's the guy who started this breakaway. And when he goes to the front of that, he seems to do a longer turn than the others as well. He might have slightly better legs. He had a good sprint yesterday, actually. He was 15th on the stage yesterday, and he is a good finisher. But doing today everything he can to try and just keep things clear. The yellow jersey there having a word with Mick van Dijk, his final lead-out man, as he has been all week for Olav Koy. In actual fact, Van Dijk has been a great protective foil for the yellow jersey this week. We're nearly getting to the point where we can say Olav Koy has won this race overall, but it's never over till it's over, and they've got to bring this one home over the next 5 kilometres, and they will want the stage win now. They won't be thinking about the general classification. Yes, they'll want to protect Koy, but they'll want to protect him so he can finish off on top of the podium on today's stage. That is a very small bunch, Matt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 20, I think it's about 30 riders, and they'll be coming to that point in a few moments' time, or a few metres' time, where we had that crash earlier on. There we go, 17 seconds. They've got that little kink, and now essentially the road is one long run into the line. The riders know what it's like here. They know the sort of effort that they need. But Jumbo-Visma still riding in the middle of the road. They could put it in the gutter if they want to here. Obviously, we've got the cars on the right-hand side. 16 seconds now, 4 Ks to go. They've still got a bit of work to do. Yeah, there's that crash site with the ambulance there. So it's not great, but there we go.
Michael Hessman back on the front, the German rider for the Dutch Jumbo-Visma team. That very, very svelte leading group, main peloton we'll call it. And look at this, these guys are still utterly committed. Axel van der Tuuk, the last man left on his team. It'll only be his team director and his team staff watching on and listening in. The other 2 riders will still be around, I'm sure, as well, being an all-Dutch team, Metek Solowat. But he's out there doing it by himself today. He's done a great ride too. But Jumbo-Visma are going to try and just drill this one down over the final 3 kilometres. It's going to be close to the catch, but it does look like it's going to happen soon as well.
It does. They're doing a great job. Desperation times for the breakaway. You have to take your hat off to Berkens, Dissel, van der Tuuk and Kronen. They are absolutely flying. 2.9 Ks to go. Another little glance round, and all they will see is the bright yellow peloton bearing down on them. A massively reduced bunch because of that crash when Eli Viviani touched the wheel. I think it was of Magnus Scheffel, but look, they're keeping it over to the right-hand side. He wants to give the other riders a little bit more space here. Yeah,
I see what you're saying, Matt. So what you're saying is, within that breakaway, if he pushes left, because they're cooperative at this stage, aren't they? They want to work together. Okay, even I get that. It would make sense. They're following him as well, actually, but they're following the back wheel of Van der Tuuk, because just to explain that for people at home, they are cooperative at the moment anyway, that breakaway. If the front rider here, Dissel, moved to his left, he at least then provides a bit more shelter to the rider behind him, but it's falling apart for them now. First to go is Max Kroenen. He's gone. 3 left.
Yeah, that was the last turn by Tom Padcourt as well, the Belgian. He could only just about ride on the front, just a short period of time. 2 Ks to go, and they still haven't caught them yet.
No.
3 riders left out in front, and they're running out of ammunition.
Yes.
I do think they're going to be caught, but we said it was going to be deep into the race. I certainly didn't think it was going to be less than 2 Ks to go, but they've only got a gap of about 40 metres now.
Go on, boys, go. Come on. If you're at home watching this, you're willing them on to hang out there. That would be amazing if they did, but the history books and everything about the factor this race race say they are definitely going to get caught. And now we've got Beat Cycling moving up, and they're moving up. Yuri Havik at the back of that string as well. He's been right inside that top 10 on a number of occasions already this week. Let's watch for him. The number 76 back there is Aaron van Pucker. Aaron van Pucker is being led up in the colours of Sport Vlaanderen and Baloise, the yellow, blue and white. 2 DSM. Can they make it work on the final day?
That's John Degenkolb on the front, on his wheel. He's got a Bittner. So there is the lead out, and you've got Sam Welsford just sat in the third wheel there. So the break about to be caught. How cruel is this sport? Such a beautiful sport, but cruel more often than not. 1,300 of metres to go. The catch has been made, and we've got a drastically reduced group coming into the line. And they've stuck it in the gutter here. 1,200 metres to go. Yeah,
if they could hang on. They might even get a top 25 finish, because it can't be more than that left in that group. But they won't know it right now. They won't know what's gone on behind in that nasty crash. That's Michael Hessman having done his turn and now feeding himself out the back of that leading group. Jumbo-Visma already starting to push it. They're already starting to get Mick van Dijk ready to fire. Olaf Koy is there too. Sam Welsford's lost his lead out though by the looks of it. Again, it looks slightly messy from DSM. And the shoulders, the elbows knocking Matt too.
Yeah, Moresco's just at the back there. Welsby, remember, in the orange jersey. 500 metres to go. We've got Olaf Koy sat in third position now as they open things up.
That
and the right that's leading out is Mick van Dijk.
Who's got the back wheel though? Koy, Alexander Solby goes. Solby's gone down the left-hand side. He's opened up really early, the Dane. Alexander Solby's taken a flyer. He's got a couple of bike lengths on the others, but Koy's coming back. The yellow jersey's going to want to take this one on the line. I think Alexander Solby's going to win it. The Dane looks so close. Koy on the line, the yellow jersey takes it. I've got to say that was cruel. That was cruel. Alexander Solby looks so close, and Olaf Koy is conducting the crowd. Well, he might, because he's just won his first ZLM Tour, the Netherlands' biggest men's stage race, and he's taken the win at the age of 20.
Well, what a win that was, but what a ride by the Dane. Solby opened things up very, very early and opened up a gap of like 5 or 6 lengths. It was a great idea to do that, but it forced Koy to chase. The other rider up there was Sam Welsford for Team DSM. I think the Australian ended up third, but Koy just took it on the line, had to claw back. His sprint was basically chasing down the Flying Dane into that finishing straight, but in the end, he secures the win. Another stage win, so 3 stage wins, and the overall. A fine win by Olaf Koy, and a good team effort for Jumbo-Visma as well. They really had to work hard for that one, catching the break with only 1,300 metres to go. Wonderful ride.
Yeah, and he gets the bonus seconds, of course. Not that he needs them, because he's won the ZLM Tour overall. He's won 3 stages, although he's only crossed the finish line in first place on 2. He was second, of course, on stage 2, and then given the win. Let's watch this from overhead, Matt.
Yeah, just coming into the last 500 metres here. It is DSM leading out. We've got Welsby in third position, Olaf Koy in third. But just look at the rider in orange, about 6 riders back, Alexander Solby. He's got a bit of empty road there, so he has to go through on the inside of Magnus Sheffield, straight through that little gap, and opens up his sprint with about 300 metres to go. Moves over to the left-hand side, then swings back right to take that shorter racing line. And this is where Koy has to open things up and chase. He's in effect leading out Timothy Dupont and Welsby on his wheel. And at this point, it does look as if Alexander Solby is going to take the biggest win of his career. And then as the meters close towards the line, Koy finds something else, another little micro sprint. Literally 25 metres to go, just started to pass him, and only actually passed him on the line there. So despair for the Dane, but joy for the Dutchman.
And Sam Welsford in the end didn't look like he had much left. He had to sit down. He was sat down here already. You can see the form going completely. He's just willing the line to come to him in third wheel, the DSM rider. Tim Dupont kicking on in that massive gear again. And Marechko had moved up too. Sheffield had a go in that sprint, and in the end has got a problem. Not sure what it is, where his chains come off. But look at Solby. What a powerhouse he is, the Dane. Oh, gosh, you do not want to be his cranks. He is a beast on the bike. And it was so close at this stage, Matt, wasn't it? He would have thought he had it. He still dipped. But Koy, once again, has shown, well, there isn't any doubt about it, he is the best sprinter in this race. The stats prove that on account of the 3 stage wins, but he made that look not easy by any means. but it was extraordinarily well executed.
So
Look at
tight
that.
on the line, wasn't it? So it's, well, half a wheel in it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, just half a wheel.
I was starting to get nervous there, thinking, have we got this right? Yeah.
Yeah, he knew it, didn't he? He knew when he made that last lunge.
Yeah.
But it is a superb sprint. But Alexander Solvay certainly played his part there. It looked as if he'd really taken them by surprise. It wasn't just by surprise. The speed of his acceleration, the way he took it, slingshotted his way through that little gap, and quite wisely as well. There was a real intelligence to the way he sprinted. Swung his bike over to the left-hand side to create that little bit of extra space, then back into the line. So he took the shortest line through that gently meandering finish. But in the end, this man just had that little bit too much desire. A hat-trick and essentially 4 wins. So the overall and 3 stage wins to take his remarkable tally even higher this season.
Yep. What a start to the year he's had in general. But he has to be considered, Matt, right up there amongst the Arnaud Delis of the those who are the next generation of world-class sprinters, no doubt about it. And he's built in an interesting frame as well, isn't he? Because he's more of a kind of a classics rider. He's not massive either, is he, as a guy? But anyway, look, there's today's stage result provisional. Coy, the winner, ahead of a